solar return chart on February 21st, Val sees a change coming for Princess Catherine.
This is a big change that they're talking about. It's over here. It's a big family change. There's a lot that is positive about it because that trine to the sun.
Then in June,
maybe moving forward on something and tired of being stuck. 10 of Wands. Somebody's moving out.
July 28th, headlines report a possible move infuriating King Charles. What's next for the royals? Stay tuned.
We're going to talk about the Queen's sinister plan today. So thanks for joining me. It's just amazing how much you can find out from a solar return chart. And you guys, we're talking about drama, royal drama. And it's starting to play out a little bit with the fact that Prince William and Princess Catherine are not going to be attending the VJ event. So, of course, this is the anniversary of when Japan surrendered and the Allies won in 1945, a very big day and always celebrated. But why are we even talking about it? Who cares? Well, because we can find out when there's drama in a solar return chart, and it teaches you how to see what's coming in your own life. So hello, Linz. Meta Elizabeth is here. Welcome. Come on in. Are you ready to talk the royals? Okay, so the Queen's sinister plan. Does she have a plan? How is she feeling? Why does she feel the way she feels towards William? And why is there so much tension right now? We're going to get to the bottom of it. And if you haven't checked it out already, and if you're not a member, definitely join. And you can check out Will They Last? It's Pam and Liam. Such a cute couple. Everybody is raving about them. But is it faux? Is it a faux relationship? Is it real? Can it last? And this is a primer on a solar return, showing you how to see if a relationship is going to work or not in the next year. 2 senior royals are mysteriously absent from royal families' VJ day plans. That's a nice clickbait. Who are they? And of course, they're Princess Catherine and Prince William. So they are not showing up. The royal couple will be possibly moving, which we saw early on in February. And it could be the Gothic Fort Belvedere. But my theory is that maybe they jumped the gun. Maybe they didn't get all the signatures because it was maybe within a day. It was pretty fast when the sources with King Charles came out and said he's infuriated and he does not support it. So this could be going on behind the scenes. So we're going to see what the charts say. And if you're interested in pulling your own solar return chart to see what's coming up for you, you're going to go to AstroSeek, pull your birth chart, click the solar return link in the top right. Then you're going to click the solar only tab, not the solar and birth. You can actually find out some things from the solar and birth. But for this purpose, we are looking at the solar only charts of the royals. All right, so we're going to look first at Prince William's solar return chart. It's his 2025. So that started on his birthday. You're going to put your birth date in the ascendant line, and that's going to show when the solar return runs. So it's from birthday to birthday. And Will and his family seem to be heading in their own direction, regardless of what the other royals want and say. It's true. And hello, Marie. Thanks for always updating us. You're welcome. And Caroline's here. Nice to see you. What is the king's upcoming speech going to be about? Well, they were talking about how he was coming out to speak. I think it's maybe just about VJ and the day itself. I think it was clickbait, but we're going to have to consult the cards. In fact, let's do it now before we get into the chart review. And let's see. What is King Charles going to be talking about on August 15th when we see him in public? Let's see what this is. Oh my, 4 of Cups. So maybe he doesn't know what he wants to talk about yet. It's a lot of choices. And there's something about, could there be something that has to do with a female involved? So it's basically going to be King Charles. It's going to be Queen Camilla. maybe some of the family there, and clarifier on what King Charles might talk about in their engagement that they have coming up. Oh, I had a feeling that was going to come up. So I don't think anybody's going to be talking about death, but they might be talking about how something's transforming and changing. They're going to be talking about change, or at least maybe the sentiment is going to be talking about change. Maybe they're going to be talking about how King Charles looks, so, and his health and all of that. Soda Pop, you said it's almost as if they're maneuvering into an advantage position in case Charles passes. It's like a concurrent planning or something, running a plan A or B at the same time. I totally agree. They got to watch their backs, because it is not easy to be a member of the royal family. You really have to be strategic, or you'll get run right over. All right, so let me get back to this chart. This is Prince William's solar return chart. It's kind of complicated to figure out who's who, but what we do is we figure out who's who in the chart. And if there's a red line that goes through them, they're not getting along. Something's wrong. If there's a blue line, then things are okay. Things are harmonious. And who is the stepmother? Well, generally, the stepmother is the sixth house. So we want to keep an eye on the sixth house. And the sixth house lord, if you really want to figure out these charts, you have to know the lords of every sign. So if it's Sagittarius, you're going to be looking for Jupiter. So we're going to look at Jupiter, and where is Jupiter? Where is that stepmother? She's in the 12th house of Prince William's chart. So could mean a couple of things. The 12th house is generally, traditionally, hidden enemies. However, can also mean that you can't see them. They're just doing stuff behind the scenes. They're not out in the open as much as probably they want to be, or she wants to be. It's interesting how Jupiter rules the stepmother, and conjunct the sun means a blonde stepmother. So we know who it is. It's Camilla. Camilla's in Prince William's 12th house. And you see a bunch of blue lines going towards these two planets, which would show that there is access to Queen Camilla. She might be pulling some strings from behind the scenes. Prince William's solar return chart is ruled by the moon, because the ascendant is in Cancer. You'd look to the Lord of Cancer, and that's the moon. That's him. And it's in Taurus. Wealth, wealth, wealth. 2 degrees. Wow. Super wealthy this year, especially. The moon is sextiling the Lord of the 6th house of stepmother. So it shows there's some good feeling. I don't know about good feeling, but it shows that Will has access to his stepmother. He knows what she's doing in there. Okay. He can see. This is like glasses, the blue line. So that's one thing. Good. This is good. That maybe, and also the other way around too, Camilla can get access and is seeing what Will is doing. And what's Will doing is probably on social media, which is the 11th house. Also, 11th house is the goals, knows what his goal is, and organizations, which is maybe organizations that he's interested in. Of course, Taurus means banking, finance, maybe food, maybe farming. Maybe we haven't even seen anything about the farms yet. This is the adverse part of this. The stepmother is squaring Saturn, okay? And Neptune is right next to it. So these are people that she does not want or want to see in Will's 10th house of out in the open, out in public. Does not want it. Now, also, when you see the sun squaring Saturn, can sometimes mean someone is maybe slower, can show that maybe with the square, can show somebody that's pretty angry about something. And also Neptune can show a scandal. So doesn't want to touch a certain scandal that's coming up. So maybe she's like, don't get me in the middle of it. But we also want to see who these planets represent. So here's VGA Day. I'm going to get back to that because it is unbelievable Now, here is what you would do with your solar return chart. You turn into a calendar. After you turn it into a calendar, you're going to go to that month that you're activating. And so for Prince William, it's in the third house. Now, we talked about it with Amber on Friday, but we got Mars coming in, which would represent the military. So it makes sense that people are going to be talking about the military, yet he's not going to be there. And it might cause some anger. So you can see that square, that red line to Mars. So there's some anger about this. There's the news mysteriously absent. So interesting that that's a word that's in the headlines, mystery, mysterious. And so here we go. We've got Neptune at the top and it's squaring Camilla. So there's some kind of mystery that has to do with the family, and Camilla might be behind it. Saturn and Neptune right up there at the top part of this mystery. Well, it's Kate, of course. It's Princess Catherine, the seventh house lord, and she's up there. She's Saturn. It's kind of like, maybe Princess Catherine has a secret, but there is a block. And I'll tell you what, that stepmother does not want Catherine in public. That's how I read that. So you can see that Neptune and Saturn, they're both basically representing Catherine just because they're conjunct. It's really Saturn that represents Catherine. Capricorn is the sign for Will's wife this year. It's not just Saturn, it's also Venus, but I'm going to keep it simple for now. And so up on the 10th, this is your wife is supposed to be out in public, but stepmother does not want it for one reason or another. It's kind of crazy. So we're going to have to get to the bottom of why. Yes, Saturn is Kate. Hey, Addie, nice to see you. Oh, plotting. So much plotting there in the 12th house. Hello, Deborah. So is she going to be successful plotting? Yes, in some ways. Is she going to be clashing? Yes, in some other ways. And it's going to depend on the month, of course. Kept the chart kind of simple. I didn't put a lot of aspects in it so you could really see just the basics. So there's Kate, really. I should have put her picture up there too. And also Neptune is interesting. We might see her in blue, or there might be something Neptunian coming up, maybe around Christmas time, because in Will's chart, maybe around early December, of course, she's going to have her concert, to about, I'd say maybe early January, lots and lots of talk, as usual, about Princess Catherine, because that seventh house is activating. Princess Catherine, let's look at where this is her chart. And she's Jupiter this year, but let's look at where she is. We're in August here. And how do we know that? Because her ascendant starts on her birthday. So it's January, February, March, and so on over to August. And August 15th is VJ Day. So there we have Mars there, which represents the military. And you can see an opposition to the sun and Pluto. So what the heck? And it's in a T-square with none other than the cruel wild animal energy, the unempathetic Black Moon Lilith up there. It's particularly mean, angry, and nasty. So that's not nice. It's not nice to have Black Moon Lilith in a T-square. You're having to deal with something that that's not so pleasant, especially with Mars there. Somebody's really fighting about something. When I see Cancer, I think, well, it might be about a home. Eighth house could be about real estate. So they're fighting back and forth about this. They're not able to see any type of, middle ground. And of course, this flag, this is the Japanese flag. This is back in 1945. They're going to be all talking about this. Remember that Mars in Cancer is particularly, it's like abuse. It's abusive. So there's some kind of abusive feelings that are happening here. Lots of fighting. So how do we tell who is Camilla, the stepmother, in Princess Catherine's chart? Well, we have to go to, of course, it's the 11th. We've got to go to her husband. Okay. So, and then what we do is we count 6 houses from the husband to get to her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And of course, it is in Scorpio. Are you surprised? I'm not. There she is. So what do? We got to look and see where Pluto is, because Pluto is the Lord of Scorpio, in order to really figure out what the stepmother is up to. And that's Pluto in the second house. So wouldn't you know that Pluto is that opposing planet that is about to be really experienced? And you could see that opposition there. Mars opposing Pluto. This can show jealousy and extreme anger. So somebody does not want the Windsors to move to Fort Belvedere, in my opinion. Now, it could be because maybe the stepmother wants it for herself or for her family, or maybe because it's a bigger property than what she might move into later. I don't know. So let's look at Queen Camilla's chart. And before we do that, we'll pull some card. I think it's about money. I think it's about the second house. I think it's about control and power. Hello, cicada. Yes, other people's stuff. That's Scorpio, Pluto. It's like, ick. Oh, it's another doozy. This one is a big one. And Soda Pop, good point. Is it because Catherine is still sick? Like no one wants her to appear weak. Why isn't she attending VJ Day? Oh, wow. Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. So maybe something that has to do with money. Can you give us a clarifier card on why Princess Catherine is not attending VJ Day? 3 of Pentacles. Maybe she doesn't want to be part of the team for some reason. Does Queen Camilla want Wills and Catherine to attend VJ Day? Ace of Wands. New intentions. 3 of Swords. You know, it's an ambitious card. It's a card of setbacks. So this is pain. This is absolute. Could be actual pain. I really think that it's jealousy. I think it's jealousy because Catherine gets more attention. And I also think that there's that property thing, but I think that might be more in the King Charles kind of mindset. I think he's thinking about that, but he looks like he is absolutely outraged, King Charles. It was about money. It's always about money with those people. What is he most upset about right now with his son? Aha, this makes sense. The Hierophant is not playing by the rules. He's supposed to play by the rules, and he didn't. And he decided to make an aggressive move. I wonder if he did that during Mercury retrograde. Sometimes people do that. Can I get a clarifier card on King Charles and why he is angry at Prince William? Knight of Cups reversed. So sometimes that can mean something new, trying to start something new. It means good news. And Knight of Cups can mean bad news reversed. So it might be something where it's like, look, how could you start thinking of yourself and moving when I'm dealing with some bad news here? You know, I'm trying to do all these things to stay healthy, and all you're doing is just upsetting me and making it worse. With Mars being near the anniversary of Diana's passing chart from the other day, I still wonder if plotting and doozy is somehow related. Ooh, sounds like Mean Girl hating on Catherine. We don't want to necessarily make this a gossip show, but it's such a good way to learn astrology. You want to know who's your hidden enemy. You want to know who's mad. You want to know how mad. And this is pretty mad because we're seeing that opposition. When you see Pluto opposing Mars, ooh, that is very, very bad. It almost makes me think that it could be something that is mundane that's coming in, some kind of military. I mean, this could simply be the war, the war where there was so much military. And that's going to be the case in this event, in this engagement. There's going to be so much military. It's still going to be in Mercury shade. So there's a possibility that the T square here might mean that maybe there's some disorganization, there's some might be a little bit of a trouble with the event itself, but sorry to say, this is Camilla. This is not good. Camilla is very angry. You can see it's in Princess Catherine's second house. So it's almost like there's somebody who's mad that Catherine is receiving something. So here is Queen Camilla's chart. And this year, your solar return chart is going to change every year. This is on her birthday, the ascendant. How do we see where Queen Camilla's husband is? Well, normally we would look at Jupiter, which we can here. We would look, though, at the ninth house because it's her second husband. And so the ninth house has Pluto in it, whereas it's a transformation. Pluto is also Scorpio and can show death. Now, the ninth house it's ruled by Saturn. And so Saturn's up here. So this is her husband way up here. Saturn moon, somebody who's depressed, somebody who's dying. It is really sad. Something that would make you sad is Saturn moon. You don't want Saturn moon in your solar return. It usually shows that there's going to be something to be crying about. So we're looking at the ninth house, which is her husband, who in her chart is Catherine. It's Jupiter. Because this is how we would do it. We would look at the ninth house for King Charles. Then we go 5 houses from that to get William. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because the 5th house is the first child. But then after that, to get to Kate, we've got to go 7 houses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way over to the 7th house. So this is Catherine Jupiter. And surprise, surprise, right around this period of time that we're in, we are talking, there she is, we're talking about a square here, right there. Now, this just occurred to me. Saturn moon is fear. There's fear about something. So could show that her daughter-in-law is fearful about being in public. Maybe they've had like a threat or something. Sometimes it's paranoia. I think it was 2 years ago, and I thought somebody was trying to break into my apartment in this 1 month. And I was just like, I was just too oversensitive to the noises outside. And I had Saturn moon. It wasn't exact, but it was close enough to show panic or just plain fear. Is Princess Catherine fearful about being seen in public? So there's the moon, there's the public. It's also water, floods, rain. She's not going to go because it's going to rain. Clarifier card on Princess Catherine being worried about appearing in public. I don't see anything too bad there. Maybe King of Swords. See, this is somebody with a sharp tongue. Maybe it's a famous king, something that has to do with King Charles. Yeah, maybe the military will reveal something. With that Neptune with Saturn right now in Aries, it really does make me think that it might rain because of the Neptune. Neptune always ruins stuff when you're talking about events and if you see it and it's not in great aspect. There is Catherine and squaring to Queen Camilla's husband. So it's possible right now Catherine isn't too pleased. Notice the 8 degrees, which is real estate, Scorpio. So maybe some jealousy of some sort. It's like a game, really, a board game. You have to count the pieces and count the players. But during this time frame, with Cancer there, the moon is activating for Queen Camilla and right next to her husband. So you can see as soon as the moon, sorry if this is kind of messy, as soon as the moon activates on or around VJ Day, then really the moon becomes her ascendant and she becomes the moon. I really believe that once you start moving through your solar return chart, the cusp starts to become your new ascendant for that month. You could see it that way. And so the moon suddenly becomes Camilla. Saturn, of course, is retrograde. And her husband's going to be seen probably in a military uniform among the military. It's not perfect, though, because you've got this opposition to Mars. There's so much anger here. And looks like a little bit of trouble, looks like some kind of communication problem because of Gemini's, also children. There's T square here. That is activating and it looks ugly. So Gemini in poor aspect can show no communicating with Mars, angry communicating, and also can show gossip, lots of gossip. It's because there are some people, some royals who are not there, possibly. It looks like King Charles is very critical. Whenever you have an opposition, which we do with, you know what? Oh, that Neptune, that's chemo. And it's also meds. So it could be a doctor close to him too. Here's the nice part. When you have a nice trine to the sun, this is very positive. So there are some positive things. It shows the spotlight. It shows maybe being a mom. Maybe she's going to have her children there. So there are some positive things to this, but there's some kind of anger, it would seem, about maybe something that's being talked about on television. Maybe they were expecting a news crew or some kind of video, with Neptune being video, and maybe the video isn't to his satisfaction. See what Spirit says. This T square with Gemini. This is possibly something that has to do with how the royals are going to be seen in this upcoming event, which is super important for the royals. What am I seeing here with this T square? The Hierophant again. Okay, so rules. So maybe they're clarify a card on the rules. What is all of this anger and maybe criticism about on VJ Day? Five of Cups, maybe sadness, regret, wishing that something was happening but is not. Maybe regret that Prince William and Catherine are not there anymore. How's the weather? I'm so interested with these cards. What's the weather going to be like for this event? Well, let's say no sun. I don't know if it's going to be rainy, but partly cloudy. I've never done a weather forecast with cards before. Elphaz, will Camilla take action for revenge? Let's see. Will Camilla take action for revenge in the next couple of months? Let's see what the cards say. Oh, hey, Jan. Knight of Swords. So it looks like Camilla's like getting out of there. But to your question, will Camilla take action for revenge? This means a fast action. So what will Camilla do? King of Pentacles. So it's all going to be financially related. She'll get what she wants. She'll get what she wants as far as financial benefits. Yeah, maybe the military will reveal something. What will the military reveal, if anything, on VJ Day? Oh, 10 of Wands. Maybe sometimes I see that as I wish it wasn't out of focus like that, but sometimes this has to do with the migrants. A lot of people stuck wanting to move. So maybe something will be uncovered about the moving. And, they always use the royals, always use the press as an instrument of revenge. Like when somebody has the spotlight, somebody else will have a source, talk about something, and kind of pull the rug out from whoever is in the spotlight. So it's very possible that maybe there's going to be some news during this day about what Prince William and Catherine will be doing, are doing, and maybe something about the move. So maybe there will be something about a royal not moving. Yeah, she wants Andrew's house, but there's still, and it doesn't look like she's going to get it. a protest. Could there be a protest on this very important military day for King Charles, VJ Day? King of Swords again, reversed. So maybe no? Too patriotic, possibly. Clarifier card, although King of Swords shows that a king is weak. So maybe that's what it's showing. Clarifier card on whether there's going to be a protest in London during VJ Day. Four of Pentacles. So much about could be the poor. Maybe some of the poor might be protesting. They always have some kind of protest. Jan, to ensure her influence is maintained in Windsor if Charles moves on. Yes, exactly. To be in Andrew's house. You know what I thought was so interesting? That if something happens to Prince, we got to pull a card for this one. If something happens to Prince William before George comes of age, which I guess is 18, I don't know. Harry, and I know you guys know this, but I didn't realize that Harry is going to be the administrator or something. He steps in. Is there a possibility that Prince Harry is going to step in as king in the future for Prince William or King William? Four of Wands reversed. Hell no. And this is if the family, this is like the end of the party, a clarifier card on whether Prince Harry could ever substitute for Prince William. Looks like a no to me, and too many rules. April 2028 looks bad for transits for William and George. Yeah, they're going to have some real challenging years coming up, but all of the wealth and the new property and being able to have some freedom is going to help them. Okay, no protest to advertise. Thanks, Jan. Yeah, so we should probably expect maybe some foul weather, but I hope not. I hope not. It's an important day for the world, really. The Allies won, and so interesting how the military is really aspected here in Camilla's chart, all of their charts on during these weeks. So but the Neptune there, it's kind of like it's sort of like everybody's military is being rained on. It's like their parade is being rained on. And well, hello Teresa, I haven't seen you in a while. So let me go back and take a look at one more thing. It's always interesting to see what the husband's doing, because the second husband is the ninth house. And with that Pluto in there, I mean, are you seeing what I'm seeing? My God, when you see a planet and there is a square, now, of course, it means land and property and investments, and it's in this T square, yikes. And Mercury in Camilla's chart is Prince William. This looks nasty, nasty, nasty. So it's hard. It's hard to disagree with someone who is in cancer treatment, but you still want something for your family. And then on the other hand, I don't know what King Charles is thinking. I think that he's a traditionalist, and he believes he has the power, and his kids shouldn't be making these decisions without his full knowledge. I don't know, but it's interesting how the North Node is up there. North Node is big gains, but it can also show that, gosh, so much water. Let's see, when is that? So that's going to be next year. So that'll be June. This is May. May is a big month. It's almost like a lot of rain, a lot of flooding, maybe. Something here. I mean, it looks definitely like it's going to make the news. Let's say that. Let's ask the cards. What's up there in May of 2026? This is big, big headlines. Big headlines for Queen Camilla and King Charles. Can you tell us what it is? What? Magician reversed. That's William. Clarifier card. Would that make any sense? Clarifier card on Prince William next spring around the May time period. 8 of Wands. So maybe communications, maybe a bad communication. I need one more card for that. Maybe everybody's talking about Prince William and the Hermit reversed. So maybe going underground for a little while and then coming back out. So the Hermit, I'm not sure what that is. Could be. It looks like yet another big scandal, because why? Neptune and Pisces is scandal. It's also water. Hey, Shauna. Hello. Oh yeah, BML. Okay, hold on. Hold the phone. Oh yeah. So you're talking about that T-square. It's a crazy, crazy T-square. And I'm going to take the comments off there. That is beyond, and it's bullying too. Whenever you have that square with Leo in your chart, you just have to have one red line. This is Queen Camilla's chart, though. And there's bullying between her husband. Wait a minute. Her husband is really Saturn, but Pluto is in there in the 9th. And for her, she has 3 signs in her 6th house. Looks like a worker. I think it's a worker. Maybe somebody that likes Princess Catherine, because you can see the blue line that goes straight to Princess Catherine. So maybe she's helping in some way. I got to say, though, this is also disease, VML. And Scorpio can mean prostate disease. So it's possible that both Prince William and her husband, King Charles, are maybe not being able to communicate, Mercury, because of the disease. King Charles is somewhere else. He could be, just not able to talk to Prince William. But this is a big deal. It's a big deal, and it really comes in. It's already come in. It's already come in July with that Gemini. That's when Mercury activated that T-square. But it's definitely coming in October. So we'll have to see. But of course, the 4th house is real estate. It's Queen Camilla's home. So it's going right through her home, and people are getting the claws out, that's for sure. So I wonder how we're going to be seeing the headlines reflect some of this. Alpha, as you said, I pulled 5 of Swords right when you said bullying. Wow. Could be. It could be. Jan White, this is her 2nd husband. So we're looking at the 9th. Mm-hmm. Yeah, could be a servant. So I don't know. We'll have to see. All right, guys. I am going to be on tomorrow, so I hope you can join me. And if you're interested in another topic of, that has to do with royals, let me know. Put it in the comment section and I'll take a look at it. But I also have a couple of other things I want to do. I want to look at, did you guys hear about JD Vance and the leak? There's something in, that's American Vice President JD Vance, of course. He is just tormented by this leaker, and I want to find out who the leaker is. He's not going to see anything that I post. He's not going to be interested, so he won't find out. But we're going to get a description of JD Vance's leaker. So I'm going to come on. Just look for the notification for that. That's going to be soon. And I still owe you guys the Macron divorce prediction. I think it's coming. So no worries, Jan. We missed you. All right. I know. All right, guys. Thanks so much. And I'll see you soon.